Welcome to the Phoenix Empath Intuitive. We sometimes give our light and energy to people who will never see our worth, and sometimes we have to take our power back by using affirmations, visual inspirations, and meditations. I am here to give you motivation on how the past is always our teacher. Please do me a favor and like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified when I post a new video. Remember, red hearts if you made it through, purple hearts if it resonates, green hearts if you're working on it, yellow hearts if you rock with me and got my six, meaning have my back because I have yours. Thank you, and I love you guys. Hey guys, it's me, Phoenix. We are going to do a general read to see where your energy is. Please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified when I post a new video. I know you heard that in the spiel, but I can't stress enough why I need your support. I need to get my channel out there to like-minded individuals. Something happened with the algorithm, and I'm figuring it out as I go, but I'm not going to stop supporting. Um, what we all need is, you know, support. We need to learn how to heal without being angry. We need to understand about the lessons in life, and what and how they can affect us mentally, physically, and spiritually, especially us being Cancer. So the way this read is going to go, we're going to pull from the Lenormand deck. We're going to pull from the Love Situation deck, the Messengers of the Heart, and also the Monopoly Tarot, and see where the energy is. So let's start that way with the Lenormand. And then, following at the end, we're going to pull from the Four Agreements and the Crystal deck. Now, I will turn around and, yeah, there's been some type of struggle work situation where the way that you make money, and I'm not going to say, yep, there's going to be some type of change. Oh, look at that. And marriage. There you have it. So let's pull this card, which was the first one that turned over. Child, card number 18. You could have a child that's 18. 38 has to do with toil and labor, the way that you make your money, and also sudden wealth. There's going to be some type of sudden wealth, some type of energy where you are either receiving some type of marriage offer, or offer of change. But sudden wealth is also here, card number 11. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's pull from the love situation. Or, you know what? I might change this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from the finance deck, because this has to do with your job and the change, and also when it comes to your kids. So, again, I want to make this as positive as possible. So let's just see what you're working with. Marriage is happening. There's a lot of things that's happening that didn't happen before. And so now, with that being said, oh, no, I thought a card turned over. It didn't. Now, with that being said, I totally am changing the read up, but that's just what happens when I feel this way. We'll also discuss the love and the messages of the heart. This could be from your heart or from somebody that, gives you the marriage proposal, but we're going to also talk about this love situation. Shall I take these cards in the reverse? Might not, but we'll just see what comes out. Unrealistic is here, and beauty is at the bottom of the deck. It says, embrace your unique style and own it. Let the world see who you really are. Consider careers doing hair, jewelry, clothing, or any job that enhances others' beauty. It says your inner world must match your outer world for things to change. So the change came when your inner world, dealing with childish people or certain situations, even with jobs, had to match your outer world. So that's kind of how that is. So you saw the beauty in yourself, and somebody, hold on, you okay? Hold on, my nephew is right here. You okay? Okay, so yeah, that is the inner must match your outer, and that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, is to get to a point to where you realize that seeing the beauty in yourself and not just seeing it in everyone else gets you to a point to where there's growth there, and you're not feeling bad about the decisions, the unrealistic decisions that you make, because a lot of the times we see the potential in people who don't really see the potential in themselves. So this came in the reverse, and persistence. So at some point, when we get to a point to where we feel like it's a lot of struggle, a lot of childish energy around us, we have to be the change that we want to see, and we don't want to do that unless it's a point to where we start to feel disrespected. That's why I tell you guys, watch the four agreements, listen to the four agreements, also learn, master 1 through 4, and then the fifth agreement will just flow. But the persistence is here. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Success is just around the corner. And so when it came to the struggle and dealing with childish people, or just struggling with children, because that could be that could be the issue, is that you've been struggling trying to take care of your children. They finally reach 18, you're 38. That means a 20-year difference. But you're still struggling, but you've been persistent with everything, and now it's time for you to see the beauty in yourself, in the situation and in the struggle, and then things will happen. Now, will this happen overnight? Marriage, things like that? No. It happens when you learn to love yourself and understand that you have to set boundaries, and the unrealistic expectations that you have for the potential in people will disappoint you every time. That's why the persistence is in the reverse, because you're not persistent on working with yourself, working on yourself, unless this is taken care of, these are taken care of, and then there won't be change unless it's forced change. Does that make sense? And so when it says your efforts, bless you, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Success is just around the corner. Follow through with what you set out to do consistently until you reach your goal. Hard work is required to keep building your finances. Now, that is what you realize, and you know that. And the hard work, you were just doing any job, not happy about it. But unrealistic is here. It says, your expectations in the future are unrealistic and need revision. So that's a part of it, right? The change. Perhaps your vision is big and may require a plan and need more careful thought. You could be setting yourself up for failure if you don't set realistic financial goals. And so when it came to you doing the same job, not being recognized, but you're doing the same job, um, you're doing the same, you're putting the same energy into your job, and putting the same energy into your job is you being a man, you doing managerial work, but you're not getting managerial pay. You doing all the hard work in every situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a job, but in every situation, you're doing all of the work. And therefore, when it comes to you receiving the accolades that you need, or the pay, you're not getting that. And that is where the struggle comes in, because although you're taking on all of this struggle and strife, your children are suffering because they don't get to see you, and you're suffering because you don't get to provide the things that you feel like your children need and deserve, and go from there, if that makes sense. So your persistence is paying off when you start to change and look at things not as them being um not as them being cruel or harsh, but you're changing your realistic expectations, or the unrealistic expectations that somebody will see your worth. You have to see it first. Does that make sense? And so, respectfully, that is where you are in a situation. You can hear my nephew in the back singing. So when it comes to the shadow deck, and this is why I like this deck, is because it will let you look at things from a negative perspective of the energy that's around you, but also be able to course correct from the energies that you see around you. Yeah, envious energies, but it has you look at the things, because you don't want to be the worrier and rebellious when you start to feel some type of way. Does that make sense? And so the rebellious shadow shows its face, and this is somebody with the bat. And this is what we normally get into when we start to feel like people are taking advantages from the jobs, the children, relationships, situationships, and then you become the change. But that change is like force. That's the Queen of Swords energy. You're critically thinking now. You're not thinking with your heart as the Queen of Cups. You're critically thinking, and therefore you start to take things personally. That's why I tell you, learn the four agreements and learn to be impeccable with your words and not make assumptions or see potential in certain situations. Maybe one day this will happen. Maybe one day, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to put your expectations out there. Come in. You're going to push your expectations out there and go from there. Okay, so yeah, the rebellious part comes out of you when you start to take things personally, when you feel like people, are taking your kindness for weakness, and you're just struggling. The needy shadow comes up, because at the end of the day, we all need help, but it says, this is underneath the rebellious. It says, practice self reliance and build yourself from within so you can take responsibility for your own happiness. And that's what you have to realize, that what you have to do. And again, it says, make your inner rebel work for you and not against you, to balance what's best for you and those around you. So the part of being of the rebellious shadow, the negative side of it is resistant to any authority, control, or traditions, defiant, push boundaries, and uncooperative. These are the energies that you've been dealing with. And so this is where you become rebellious. You start to mimic the things that they do. And then, so when you have the envious shadow, it says comparing yourself to others only distracts you from fulfilling your greatest potential. Now, what this can look like is other mothers, other people in different positions, seeing people with nice things and you're struggling. That is what the envious energy is. But it's not saying that you're envious of a person. You're just trying to figure out, why is your struggle so real, if that makes sense. And so, um, again, if it was the point of it, it says desires good fortune and of another. So the envious shadow will be like, I wish I could do that, or I wish I could have this house, or, I don't see why this person has that. Or, oh, okay, listen, this makes this pisses me off when people say must be nice. Like, I worked hard for the things that I have, and it is nice, but it wasn't nice. Like, it looks good, but if to people who know what the real struggle is, and to know that what comes with being able to um accept, the struggle, and to try to figure out the struggle. Again, until you figure it out, you're going to continuously do the same thing over and over again until you start believing in yourself. So that's just another thing. So jealous, competitive, and bitter. So a lot of people become bitter over when they see you all of a sudden making it and changing things that you do. And again, I showed you guys a TikTok before where the lady says, the reason why people don't like you when you change is because you're no longer that person who they need, who they used to. You change, and you're not available to them, and what you were doing, you're not doing anymore. And so it says, again, I'm gonna read it. Comparing yourself to others distracts you from fulfilling your greatest potential, and that's not what you're doing. You're not being envious, or reflecting in a bad way. You're just putting the energy out there because you're trying to figure out how to do something different. And that is a whole process in itself. So the worrier, you start to worry about things. You start to worry about, your job, the amount of money that you're making. And then things start to, worry about your kids, what they're doing, if they have it, if they don't have it. And then you start to make yourself sick. You start to make yourself sick, and then you start to try to see if you can rely on other people. Relying on other people is unrealistic, because here it is, a lot of people won't do, wait, they won't be you. They won't give you that same support that you give them. And time and time again, you keep continuously doing that until you get out of that situation. So let me read this. The endless worrying is preventing you from fully thriving. Trust in the divine plan that you trust in the divine plan that is unfolding for you. And so when you get to that point to where you stop worrying, you stop having unrealistic tendencies, you stop kind of being envious or questioning, right? And you start being persistent, then things start to change for you. And when that change happens, then people start to be envious. You start to see the beauty in yourself. You stop being rebellious and stop shutting down, and you just start being rebellious and going after the things that you really want. So you start planning and looking at your finances, planning and looking at where your kids are right now, planning and looking at the future. Is this going to happen? And if this happens, marriage, will I be able to be everything to myself first? Because then you start putting yourself first. Be everything to myself first, and then turn around and be everything to this situation, to this situation, and to this situation. And then you start to create things that you want, but it looks totally different than all of these other energies of being unrealistic. There's boundaries there, the worrying, knowing that the universe has you back, right? And then also the situations of, I like what she has. How did you do that? You know what I mean? Like, then you start to look at people who you want to be like Oprah, or look at the people that are doing the things that you're curious, your creativities, things like that, if that makes sense. So that's what you start to do. And then here it is. I'm changing it up. You start to evolve. So I'm going to pull from the evolution of the soul, and then we'll talk about the love situation. So this is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but orange hearts if you're still with me. So if you hear my great nephew in the back, he's sitting here with me, but I'm recording. He's sitting here with me watching his iPad. So self-love comes out like this. And then this one is mastery. You start to master the art of self-love. And that is when it comes to the old soul, or loving or being and wanting balance, but also wanting that old love to where you're okay with seeing the beauty in yourself, and someone is okay with you doing that, and someone isn't always taking. They're actually giving to the situation, or giving to you. And that's what you start to manifest. That's what you start to want. And then it says a search for balance and completion. And that is called spiritual growth. You stop worrying. You stop being, like comparing. You start finding. You stop being rebellious, and understanding when and where to set your boundaries, and how to set them, and when to stop being around unrealistic people and their expectations. I was choking, so somebody's throat chakra is off because that was a hard one, if that makes sense. And so you stop, you start loving yourself. So the self-love is here, unsure. How do I do that? How do I start loving myself and mastering the things that I want, mastering the change that I know I need? And then once you get to that point, it says mastering what you're being called to, conquering your life mission, discovering your true self. And that is where the persistence starts to pay off, because you start to look at things and see the beauty in yourself. Let's read it again. Your inner world must match your outer world for things to change. And that's what you start to do. So that inner bubbly person is starting to reflect and starting to change. You're getting up, you're getting dressed, and then the self-love in the reverse, in the upright, is busting through your limiting beliefs. You start to change the way you see things, the way you believe. And then it says you'll discover your self-worth. And it says a long journey to self-love. So this is a long journey. 18 years could be. But here it is again, a search for balance and completion. Lessons, spiritual awareness, teachings, traits, why spiritual, detached, and deep. So you can become detached, because in the world of trying to figure out and find the beauty in yourself, nobody understands what your goals are, what you're doing. And so in the process of that, you have to understand that nobody is going to be able to do what you do. That's going to always be a situation to where you have to learn how to um, be you in all situations, if that makes sense. You have to learn how to get to a point to where you're mastering this thing called growth, and understanding that everybody can't come with you. Everybody can't come with you. And so with that being said, you have to understand that you've done everything that you can do possibly, and it's just time for you to move forward and go from there, And so sometimes it's easier said than done, and sometimes it's just like I have to take my time and to figure out what it is that I need. So when it comes to the love situations, yeah, healing the past hurts, reevaluate needs. It says self-care / self-love and moving forward. That's what you're doing. You're healing. I should have only took one card, because that was enough for it to say exactly what we're talking about. But here it is. There is a love offer. The love offer starts to come in, because now you're putting yourself around people who complete you and not deplete you. And they're sincere offers of love, romantic gifts, and expressions of love. So now you're getting love from a different perspective. Now, pregnancy, not for me, not for most, but for the ones that are ready to accept a child. And I say not for me, meaning that my kids are grown. You never know what's going to happen, but not for me. Getting pregnant, building a family, and giving birth to something. Now, giving birth to something is something that we all want. And that is when you say, you know what, this person completes me and they don't deplete me. And now there's these love offers that's happening. Now, let's pull from the messengers of the heart. to see what comes out. I think this is a really good read. All this week, it's been about love. All this week has been about love. So there you have it. Yeah. Taking aim is in the reverse, and breakthrough and the unknown. You don't know what's out there. You don't know what's through those doors. But it says the unknown scares them. They see the abundance you bring into their life, but they fear being wrong. So this is the people that you were dealing with in the past, and therefore you had to have a breakthrough and release. And at some point they were afraid to take aim. So your breakthrough came, and now what happens when you heal? They start to heal, right? Or do they? Or do they try to realize what it is that you're doing? And now they want to come back because they see that you have more than what they offered you in the past. So taking aim is in the reverse, but it says they have stepped into their power and taken action towards you. They will not miss the mark this time. So again, who is this offer coming to? Coming from, shall I say? Only you know that, but I'll clarify those. A breakthrough. They are planning right now to come towards you to ask for a second chance. Expect communication real soon. So this person will come around. Is this the same person that we've been talking about, that there's been some type of struggle, or is the change happening with you and therefore with them? You tell me. I'm not sure. So I will pull from the Maruk X. What is it called? Grounded in Love, to see what it is. Because not only do you need to heal, they need to heal. And if they haven't healed, there's nothing that's going to change. Passing soulmates. It says some soulmates don't last forever. However, hey, some soulmates don't last forever. However, they will teach you and leave you forever changed. Don't try to hold on to them once it's over. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's what you did. It was trying to hold on and let them see their real potential. But this could be something. But there are unplanned events. Okay, you're going to go in there. Okay. There are unplanned events. Meeting at an unexpected place or when both of you were not expecting to meet is normally how soulmates meet. Prepare for the unexpected. So that is somebody different. Who is this person? That is somebody different. So that is the unknown. And so that is where all of the things start to change and you start to master this thing called love, trust, trusting in the universe and realizing that everything isn't meant to last. And that's the reason why the universe sends over the people, but that completes you and not depletes you. Now, I'll go ahead and pull from the breakup oracle to see what comes out, because guess what? You have ended something with someone. And so that is what we're going to do. Only you. And then the grass is greener. I need time to see if there's better romantic options. And you gave them time. And guess what? They didn't find it. They cannot find a you in anyone else. They realize only you. I'm not seeing anyone else, if that's what you're wondering. But you're not. You're not wondering that. They thought that the grass was greener on the other side. You're not worrying anymore. You're not worrying anymore. So the unplanned events comes when you learn to master all of those things, all of the elements in life, and therefore somebody lost out. So I'll go ahead and pull tarot. I'm gonna pull the Monopoly deck to see. He's on a cot next to me on the floor. Remember the old school cots? Yes, I have lots of those downstairs. I bought them for my grandbaby and all the other nieces and nephews. He's a couple of months younger than my grandbaby, he's almost 4. So, yep. Boom, collaboration. 3 of Pentacles energy. You found somebody who is going to complete you and want to collaborate with you. And that could be the love offer that is coming through. The marriage proposals and the love offering. Yep, contracts. Development of information and contracts. The Page of Swords. There's clarity here. There's contracts happening. There's some sudden change and unrealistic wealth. Now, what the wealth may be, it could be anything when it comes to soulmates and connection placed, your soulmate has found you. And therefore, if it's not happening, it may happen, but it takes time. Look at those cards, Phil. That's growth. You're not stressed out anymore. You're not anxiously stressed out. It's in the reverse. And you're not being a fool. And you're not letting people pass go anymore. So those cards just fell out in my lap. That just lets you know that it's time. Yep. And Four of Pentacles. They're trying to hold on tight for you after 4 years of you waiting. And here it is. Now they realize the burdens that they caused you. Ten of Wands energy. And you are not in that situation and in that headspace anymore. So now here it is. Let's pull from, I think this might not be in the shadows. I forget what this is called, but let's pull and see what energy comes out. I love you unconditionally. So at one point they didn't want to take aim, and now they realize that's only you. We will be together again. So they're still holding out. I want to tell you how I feel. They want to communicate. So now that you have moved on, and even if you haven't moved on, this energy is coming towards you. We're going to release the negative. We're not going to release this energy. But now they want to come towards you, and they want to be together with you again. And you are, this is the Everyday Witches Tarot, Everyday Witches Oracle, not Tarot. But we're going to see what it is and what. All right. Boom. Joy and delight. You're enjoying delight and therefore learning from life, or learn from life. You learned the lesson already. And so I'm not sure, if you want to hear what they have to say. Let me pull from. Be careful. Give me those papers, the DM confessions, to see what else they have to say. Or should I just leave well enough alone? Let's figure it out. This is the DM confessions, whether male or female. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. All right, hold on one second. Yep, I really miss you lately. And this is where they were at one point. It came in the reverse. Hold on one second. And you triggered my spiritual awakening. Yep. So that is, they're giving you the credit that you need, but you're not listening to it. Sometimes I feel like it's not possible for you to care as much as you say you do. Like it's not real, and one day the truth will be revealed. I'm just staying prepared. So that was the reason why they felt this way. Another one says, sometimes I just don't know how to reply or express what's inside of me, but I do read and even write up what I want to send back. I just freeze up and delete it. Now I'm going to send, on Mars Tarot has a unsent message from your ex. So I'll read that since it says that. I don't like the attention others give you, and I know I should be giving you more. I'm just frozen in fear. So this is why they felt the grass was greener on the other side. Pleasure takes a whole new meaning with you. So a lot of it is still ego, and they haven't healed right. They want their cake and eat it too, but they want to be able to do it the way that they need to do it and not the right way. Hold on, let me pull from this deck. I got to get this deck out of here. Let's see. All right. Yep. This is the unsent messages from your ex. It's actually from from the divine masculine, but remember, somebody with heavy masculine energy in their chart. Let's see. Yep, 28 minutes. This is a long read. Yep, one of us needs to open up and say something. You don't have anything else to say. You don't have anything else to say, and that's where they should have said anything. Regardless of the way things may appear, you are my wish fulfillment. So again, they still want you to express yourself to them, and that is why you've had to learn from life and move forward, if that makes sense. And so now I'm going to go ahead and end this because, again, they haven't healed. You move forward, and now you're not even looking at it. in the same situation. This is the Four Agreements. Childish energy. All right. The card that comes out is Don't make assumptions. Relinquish the need to change others. Relinquish the need to change others. And that's what you realize. Okay, so relinquish the need to change. Ouch. Okay, sorry. Relinquish the need to change others. And you realize that. And when it came to love, the only thing you could do was change yourself. Be the change that you need to see and be. And so my son is at the ER. Him and my he hurt himself back in the backyard by the pool. He fell, and so he's at the ER now. He had to get stitches. He has to get stitches. He had to get a tetanus shot, and he had to get X-rays on his back, his knee, and his leg. He's all screwed up, but he's fine though. He's fine. Okay. Real love is accepting other people the way that they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means that we really don't like them. It's just easier to find someone who is already, excuse me. This means that we don't really like them. It is easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be instead of trying to change that person. So something about this tells me that this person wasn't satisfied and they had unrealistic tendencies when it came to love. So that is where we are ending this after the crystal deck because, again, you found someone that completed you and not depleted you. Yeah, so it's like it takes you found the person, or the person, if they haven't found you yet, they will. But it comes with you learning from life. And I don't have the book, or I would read that one to you. I don't have it in front of me, shall I say. I have it here, but I don't have it in front of me. But this is a lesson that we need to hear more about. But let me see if it's right here by me. But yeah, the thing is that when it comes to these situations, you have to understand that you've done your best in these situations. You've done your best, and there is nothing else that you can give to a person who has unrealistic tendencies. And 9 times out of 10, what it seems to me is that they are looking for someone um, else other than you, and it's hurtful. But that's just where, and how you have to look at it. And you don't want to, but hey, it is what it is. That's reality, that somebody thinks that the grass is greener on the other side. And in actuality, when they get to the point to understand that it really isn't. So I'm sitting here talking to you and looking for the book, but hold on one second. Yeah, so, that's the thing. Like, we have to learn that if a person isn't satisfied with the things that we're doing, knowing that we're doing enough, knowing that we're nurturing them. My last read, or not one of the last couple of reads that I did, it was about a person um, thinking that you weren't good enough, or I forget what the words were, but they realized that you were. I think I named it. Um, they hate the way they treated you, or something like that. I named it like that, or whatever. And so that is kind of how I see this. That you overstand that they feel some type of way, but you're not going to let that stop you in regards to how you feel about yourself and how you do things, if that makes sense. And so therefore, you have to make sure you feel good within yourself. And no matter how many burdens that somebody gives to you, or how many burdens that you have from real life situations, kids, finances, you have to be able to see a way out of, the things that you've gone through, or the things that you're going through. You have to be able to see your way out of that, or see a different way when it comes to dealing with certain situations. And so you just have to know that this is what you want for yourself. You want something different for yourself. So that's why you have to heal. And it's easier said than done. And it takes time. You know, the red tiger eye jasper came out. It takes time. 4 years is on the board. 4 pentacles. Each pentacle is equivalent to a year. It takes time to heal. So it could be up to 4 years to where you're just like, I'm tired of being tired. You know, my friend, she's been married for over almost 30 years. She said that when you're tired of being tired, you'll know it. Nobody can tell you anything, but when you're tired of feeling the need to help and be somebody else's root chakra grounding, red tiger eye jasper, confidence, motivation, and vitality. When you're tired, nothing is going to stop you. You'll be confident enough in the realistic expectations that you want, because no matter what, my great nephew is behind me playing with toys, but no matter what, it is taken away from who you are, and time is only going past, and you're not getting any younger. You're only getting older. And so that is how I see that. So it says, and yeah, 35 minutes into it, I am confident, motivated, and passionate. You're going to go after your passions. You're going to be motivated by everything that you want, and you're going to be confident. And that's you. That's because you're thanking people. No man is your enemy. No man is your friend. Every man is your teacher. This person, place, thing, or situation was here to teach you a lesson. And that is the lesson of how to love yourself. And no matter how someone feels about you, no matter how many burdens you have, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So just because there's new offers or old offers, you have to be right. And that's the reason why healing is the most important thing that you can do within yourself. So you guys stay tuned to the release of the negative energies. Now, let's say an affirmation. I now let go of worn out conditions of lack, doubt, hate, negativity, procrastination, stagnation, sadness, generational curses, debt, bad energies, heartbreak, bad health, and addictions. And remember, addictions can be to a person, place, thing, or situation. I love you guys. Please do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified when I post a new video. Have a nice day.